to bring you all the big stories from the weekend and all the big stories that happened this morning. We've got Tega Tiger, the Supreme One, right here in the studio, looking very stunning this morning.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, why is Tega doing this to me now? Haba, just take your flowers, take your accolades already.
Thank
How you
you.
doing, Tega?
I'm fine, thank you.
Shokwe Martins is so ashamed of me this morning. But get close, get close.
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Dr. Rose, good morning.
Good morning.
See how you just bypassed that, Dr. Rose. Good morning. You treat her well.
Dr. Rose.
Shining like the sun after a cloudy day, she comes in months of drought. Finally, the rain has fallen. Dr. Rose, how you doing?
It's good to be back.
Oh, wow.
You see how effortless it is? You look like Cristiano Ronaldo. You're not hustling to try and score. It's 4-0 that the match has
Don't
ended.
be like that.
4-0.
Don't be like that, Shokwe. By the way, we're streaming live on YouTube. It's youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. You can also send in your messages on WhatsApp 0809-4440981 and leave us a tweet at smooth981 FM. Let's get straight into it. Some stories for this morning. James Harden, Joe Embiid lead Philadelphia to crucial Game 4 win over Miami. Max Verstappen takes hard-fought win over Charles Leclerc. And Zverev blames scheduling for 62 minutes defeat. Let's also tell you, ahead on the show, we'll be talking about Jurgen Klopp, what he says after the draw with Spurs. And Arteta ready for defining top 4 clash with Spurs. Milan restores Serie A lead with win at Verona. And Everton are building confidence, says Lampard. We would also bring this in. Atletico edge past weekend rail in Derby. All of this for you this morning.
Oh, I like the way you said rail. Oh, clap for yourself. You've tried small.
Don't be a bully, but let's get straight into it.
Bullies come in small packages. All right, let's get into it. The Philadelphia 76ers have new life in their Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Miami Heat following their 116-108 victory in Game 4 on Sunday night. Tega, I saw you watching this thing.
Yeah, huge one for Philadelphia 76ers. Remember, they fell 2-0 in this series. Joel Embiid was out with an injury, and Doc Rivers was saying we may not even have him for Game 3 or Game 4. We don't even know if he's going to be back the series. But apparently, Joel Embiid, and the physios worked together. And even Doc Rivers, because he said, you know what, just let me know how you feel. If you even feel one tiny itch, just let me know. So we'll manage your minutes and manage his minutes they did. But the big one for Philadelphia 76ers on the night was James Harden and his 31 points. He scored 16 of those points in the fourth quarter alone. Like, he went monster in that fourth quarter. All through the game, prior to that, he was running the plays, creating the assists, and he was so brilliant running the plays. He looked a completely different guy.
Is this the same James Harden?
Yeah.
What?
He looked he's all the people that like me that are yelling his name on the mics and telling him to do more. Even physically, he looks a little trimmer than he did earlier on in the season. He's putting in that work in the gym, and he can hear you guys. And sometimes James Harden does this thing just to say, I told you I was good.
Right.
So then he doesn't do it for the team. He doesn't even do it to show that. He just wants to look all the pundits in the eye and tell them, you don't know basketball. I play basketball. And he stepped up on the night. For the Miami Heat, though, at some point it looked like they were going to get Game 4 over the 76ers. They played brilliantly, especially Jimmy Butler. He scored 40 points on the night. Even his 40 points were not good enough. But massive game. That series is tied 2-2. Another series tied 2-2 is the Dallas Mavericks and the Suns. And no, I did not expect that this will be a 2-2 series. I know Luka Doncic is a completely different beast, but I don't know how you're going to play that man. There's no way you can lock him off. You stop him from scoring, he runs plays. You stop him from running plays, he scores. There is no. How do you play Luka Doncic? And he has somehow dragged Dallas Mavericks by the scruff of the neck. And that series is tied 2-2. You could see it was not even Mark Cuban was like, you're going to die in Dallas. We're never trading you. This is where you live and you die. Fantastic one. But yes, the NBA playoffs continues. We want to see how Memphis Grizzlies will survive against Golden State Warriors, especially as Ja Morant has picked up an injury. But all those will happen today. But yeah, if you're sleeping, you're sleeping on a long thing. That's all I can say.
All right, Red Bull's Max Verstappen survived a late race assault from title rival Charles Leclerc's Ferrari to win the inaugural Miami Grand Prix. And Verstappen's win caught Leclerc's championship's lead to 19 points.
Yes, brilliant one yesterday. All through the weekend, it looked like Red Bull were having problems. They were trying to get Max Verstappen's car ready. There was a time that
Yes.
I mean they were interviewing Christian Horner and he was just trying to see what is happening with behind. Why does Marcus Helmut have to go behind the back of that car? What's happening there? It was trouble after trouble. It looked like there was going to be a reliability issue. Even during the race, there was a time that Sergio Perez was saying, "I'm losing power," and he was losing power because he was 14 points ahead of Valtteri Bottas. Next thing we saw it going down, it was now 7 seconds. Sorry, it was now down to 7 seconds. I was like, yeah, he really is losing power. Then they gave him some cheat code, down alternate 5. And he just pressed it and it was back to normal. But they were struggling all weekend to set that car up. And so I didn't think that there was going to be any time on Sunday that the race was going to turn out like this. Ferrari, on the other hand, they had a really good time. Even Mercedes looked good at some time. The porpoising had reduced. Yes, they were struggling with pace, but because they brought in the new front wing, made some changes to the under part of the car, people thought, okay, it's going to be 3 cars in the competition this weekend. Fat lie.
Never happened.
Fat lie, because qualifying comes, and the Mercedes is struggling. Lewis Hamilton qualified in 6th. George Russell qualified in 12th.
Like this is just, I'm just sad anytime I hear that.
It's just bad. And to make matters worse for Max and Sergio, they were only able to qualify in 3rd and 4th, and some of it was also down to Max Verstappen's human error. In one of his laps, but he didn't even have the time to correct it. But he said, Sunday we'll see what we can do. And everybody thought it was definitely going to be a Ferrari race. They had the straight line speed. They looked like the best car all season. Then the race started. From the jump off, Max Verstappen was all over Sainz like white on rice. Overtook Sainz at the second on the second lap, chased down Charles Leclerc, overtook him in the 9th lap, and it was goodbye and God bless you all day every day. He just went on from there to dominate. Of course, there was a safety car that came out, and that safety car put everybody together, and Charles Leclerc thought, okay, this is my opportunity to catch him. Max Verstappen was gone with the win before Charles Leclerc could blink, so that was gone. But on the Mercedes side, and this is where the struggle is beginning to look like 2016 again. For the 3rd race in a row, George Russell has gotten the benefit of safety car and has finished ahead of Lewis Hamilton. I just want to be in a Mercedes meeting. I want to hear what's happening there, because Lewis Hamilton cannot be taking this nicely. Because even yesterday, he said, strategy has not been kind to me. Then over the radio, we hear, I think it was Bono that said, oh yes, safety car. And I was like, no, it's not the safety car. Because you guys started, yes, George Russell was in the back of the grid. You started him on hard compound tires. And you started Lewis with a Mercedes compound tire. So you're giving Lewis the strategy of cars at the top of the grid. And Lewis is not at the top of the grid. Not by pace, not by technicality, and certainly not tactically now. And so George Russell was able to stay out longer, and Lewis had to go in earlier because the tires were off. By the time it was time for George Russell to go in, he said, oh, give me a few more minutes, there may be a safety car. And then a safety car happens. Then he goes in and comes back right on the back of Lewis Hamilton with fresher tires. And there's no way Lewis is going to fight him off, except Lewis wants to put both of them in the wall, which is bad for the team. So he overtakes Lewis and he's going. And then you're telling me it's safety car. No, the strategy was different. The strategy worked for George Russell. And the first time you could say, oh yes, the safety car, nobody predicted that. The second time you said, oh yes, the safety car predicted that. But yesterday, it was clear there's a 2016 happening.
All right,
yeah.
At this point, I just feel like Lewis needs to stop taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Create one for himself.
That's right.
Stop being too polite and saying, okay, the team got great points. Just be like, Toto, I've won you 6 championships. If this happens again.
I think on the worry side. All right, let's get into tennis. And world number 3, Alexander Zverev, blamed the ATP Tour scheduling for his underwhelming performance in Sunday's Madrid Open final, where Carlos the Beast Alcaraz stormed to a 6-3, 6-1 victory in just 62 minutes.
Oh, it was a
Dr. Rose,
it
what
was a
happened?
weekend of Carl Alvarez. Like, it was just his week.
Say,
The
I'll
whole
beat
week.
my idol. I'll beat his rival, and then I'm coming for you.
I was
Zverev.
like, he was just on fire. It was, and he played very long matches. It wasn't like he had easy matches. He played the top guns to get to the final and then still won the trophy. So it
In
was
62 minutes.
well in 62 minutes, which was a disappointing performance from Zverev. Zverev, we know how he has good serves, very good serves. He can run the court very well. He's good on clay. He's not too bad on clay.
Yeah, he's
But
he's
he
all
had a very
right.
poor game yesterday. He's a lot of double fouls. He just couldn't run. It was obvious that he was fatigued, and that was because of the schedule. The schedule was a big issue.
So what happened with the schedule?
So he finished. I think he played Sissipas. I think the match started around 11 p.m. on Saturday, and before they finished, it was almost 2 a.m. And then he had to come back to rest. He rested very late. I think about 5 a.m. and then had to come back for this final match. So the scheduling is an issue, and really, although it's an issue, they also had weather issues in Madrid. There were times where they had to close the court, so that affected most of the schedules and pushed most of the matches behind schedules. But still, it's kind of unfair, and you see it happens a lot in Wimbledon. And then Roland Garros, where they have to close the court when there is bad weather, and whoever is lucky, your luck.
I'm telling you. Yeah, so because if both of them had played, because I remember I think it was one final that Alcaraz played in the morning and came back to play in the afternoon, the final. But the opponents also played that morning and had to come back for the final. It was just that Alcaraz match lasted longer. But both of them had a tight schedule. This one, Alcaraz is already a machine. I'm not saying that without that final, Alcaraz wouldn't have won. I'm not saying he won't have won. Don't get me wrong. That guy is a machine. Like, he has his methodology is that of Novak Djokovic. He's very intentional, very compact, hardly any errors. Then his athleticism is that of Nadal. So he's 2.0 already, and then you now give him the advantage of time. So there was no it was almost as if Zverev is world number 3.
Yeah.
Alcaraz beat him like he was an amateur. It was horrible to watch. But at the end of the day, Zverev can complain, but title has gone to Alcaraz. And Alcaraz, now he rolled his knee, so he's taking Rome off. Rome started yesterday, and it's going to continue today. But so Alcaraz has taken Rome off so that he has enough time to rest for the French Open, which is more than some coaches in Namibia did for their athletes. But we'll not talk about that on air. We'll be very quiet about that.
And on the female side, we have the first African, first Arab woman to win a WTA 1000 series. It was amazing to watch, and you could see the joy in her face. She was so happy. I think the whole stadium was happy for her. It was like, wow, a dream come true. All your hard work has paid off. It was because they've
seen her work through it, tournament after tournament. So to come and see the fruit of it, her winning that WTA 1000 Masters, first African, first Arab woman, sorry.
All right. We're due for a break. When we come back, we'll bring you more stories. Stay with us.
The only just because people of headmaster.
What did you say?
Headmaster work, that's all you're doing. Yes, so my darling, I had to sleep that in there. There's no way I was not going to sleep that in there. And they told him, you can't let this girl. Guess what? The Diamond League, which is big money, starts on the 13th.
And they are not going to make things public like that.
A hamstring, you're not going to be able to make it. Even if she makes it to
be Victor has a message for you.
Even if she makes it.
The best
I saw your picture. Kimali Victor, I now know what you look like. You posted it on Twitter.
Advantage of our
No,
best
I
price
posted it.
odds.
No, Kimali
To get
Victor
the best
posted
odds
it.
on
Anyway,
over
Shai, so you guys.
5,000 monthly sporting events
So
and
if you-
enjoy up to
Tag, keep flying, 'cause
225%
this guy is
bonuses
your
on your
starting
potential
point.
wins.
I love
And that's not all. You can have fun betting
Because I
on our
can't.
large choice of market options with odds
That was
boost.
the
We've
top.
literally boosted
Dr.
daily
Rose, I know what
specials
to
on
tap
your
you, but that
favorite
was a
sports.
But that
Play the
is not
jackpot on
Why you behaving like an abused person? Are you Amber Heard? Why do you move like that?
I'm more like Johnny Depp.
They are even-
You're like Amber Heard. She come and beat you. She said, why did you?
No, I think she was acting.
Of course she was acting.
You were so obvious she was acting.
That means she's not a good actress.
You are the abuser. We've seen that you're not flinching. What are you flinching from your own shadow?
Listen, but it takes a certain level of gall to pull on someone's bed.
Exactly.
So by the time she did that, I said,
under the age of
How can you throw a button and cut off the top of someone's finger and you'll be like, you're all right? That woman has to go to jail. Or a psychiatric
that
hospital.
prisoners won't change. I they always scared.
She will bully all the prisoners, including the prison warden. Prison warden will be like, she's out on good behavior. It can't be. She said, I know. That's just a horrible thing. Did you was well, she said he slapped her 3 times from nowhere. I was just like, Abahead, somebody slapped you 3 times from nowhere. And you were quiet. Who are you telling this lie?
Like, give her her face.
You can have
Tell,
to-
like,
I'm sure the judge was just like, you know what? At this point, we should just arrest her for everything.
So many inconsistencies in the story from both parties. So it's like, okay, somebody is lying, you know?
But it's the way she came to court. Have you noticed that she's not doing anything? She's just brushing her hair, you know, wearing formal clothing. Like,
yeah.
I'm born again now. And see, they're not getting away with this one.
So now is
Yeah. So this one he called it. He called this one. So he called it.
you called it yourself.
We're back.
You can't lose the tip of your finger without somebody feeling bad.
This is Paul, and you are listening to Smooth Breakfast.
And welcome back to the locker room. Remember, you can be part of the show by sending in your WhatsApp messages to 0809-444-0981. And we're streaming live on YouTube. It's Smooth 981 FM Lagos. Leave a comment for us there. Larry from abroad.
All right. Yes, Larry from abroad says this on WhatsApp. I have never felt like I wanted to be as a race more than I felt this weekend. If Miami is like this, what will Vegas be like, huh? Sadly, the race wasn't all that. But Max doing the Lord's work. Every race has finished this season. He has won. Oh, and Martin Brundle is a legend. That grid walk, Tega, it was a real grid walk.
Yeah, it was a real good. And the stars all came out, and I can only they came out in. If you were looking for anybody from any sport, they were there. NFL, basketball, tennis, every
Soccer.
Michelle Obama was there. I don't know how else to put it. She was. I mean, she's not in any sport, but she was there. So there was all the party. It was a real party town. It was a full weekend. They said the drivers arrived by Wednesday, which is usually rare.
Yeah.
Some of them show up on Thursday when it's time for the autograph sign. They came by Wednesday. They're ready for the party.
They were ready.
They're like,
They were
oh,
ready.
see Miami. So you can imagine how Las Vegas is. So I'm not surprised that some of them didn't drive to their best of ability because the weekend are taking most of it. For Las Vegas, though, I cannot wait to see that one. Really
Right.
great one.
Now let's tell you what Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp is saying. He said he told his side to stop behaving as if they had attended a funeral after a 1-1 draw against Tottenham Hotspur on Saturday. He dealt a serious blow to their title challenge and handed the advantage to Manchester City. In his words, he says, first and foremost, we should stop behaving like it's a funeral.
So it's not a funeral. Liverpool fans, please brace up. It's difficult for your quadruple, we know, but it's not a funeral. It was a tactical match by Antonio Conte. I think he played very well, very smart for the Tottenham players. I mean, we knew it was going to be the tough one. I mean, and then my issue with Jurgen Klopp is that he doesn't change his side. They are the same people playing match day in, day out. There's obviously going to be some level of fatigue, and you could see it. It told in the match that those players were fatigued. But then they handed Man City a 3-point lead in the table by drawing the match against Tottenham. But we'll see how it goes. It's still not done and dusted.
Yeah.
You cannot say it's done and dusted because it's a Man City still have West Ham to play, I think. So and then West Ham is also trying to fight if they can get back into Europe. So we'll see how it goes. It's never over till it is over.
All right, which is what makes this comment very interesting because Pep Guardiola now comes out after he wins Newcastle United 5-0 yesterday and says, well, Liverpool have pedigree in the Champions League, but they don't have in the Premier League. In the 30 years of the Premier League, they've won it only once. And everybody was like, oh, God, this will never finish. You don't need brag. But that's what it is. So let's throw this open to you now. The numbers to call, 01
44 89 981. That's 0144 89 981.
Tell us what is best, to have a pedigree in Champions League or to have pedigree in the Premiership? Please let us know because Pep Guardiola is bragging too much.
Good morning.
Getting straight into it. Hello, what's your name and your location?
Good morning. All right, Mike from Akoka, go ahead. MI, go ahead, talk to us.
All
All
right.
right.
Hello, good morning. Hello, what's your name and your location? Is it from Ojo? Go ahead.
Beef around him because of his success. And I understand why he said what he said. When he got for the Champions League, everybody was like calling for his head, like he should resign. And I remember some certain years ago, when Madrid was taking the La Decima, they signed the world best player, the Figo, the Zidane, the Marcelo, when they went as far as signing the best coaches as well. Even signing the so self-appealing special one, but they didn't win the Champions League then. It was when they didn't even expect they were going to win the Champions League. They went ahead to win the Champions League under Carlo Ancelotti then. Now this is the manager that just came into England for just 5 seasons. He has dominated he has changed the atmosphere in England, and he has made the league his own. And
Dang.
out there has stayed in Arsenal for over 20 years. They are not even talking about winning the Champions League. It's only going to the Champions League for one. And yet everybody's criticizing Pep Guardiola. I understand why he said so. And he went as far as saying,
Eze, as a Wenger did not spend £1 billion. Guardiola has.
Let's take.
Let's take one more call.
Hello, good morning. Hey, good morning.
What's your name and location?
Hey, Ronson, go ahead.
Guardiola is just trying to console himself after the outside of the Champions League. Because before that, he would have made this statement. But it's both sides of the coin, though, because sometimes some people feel the league title is more difficult. But like Madrid 2002, when this guy won Champions League, I think I will remember any of his name. He won Champions League, lost the league, he was sacked. So it depends. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Let's take another one. One more.
One more. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name? Bash from Yaba. We got you. Go ahead.
Look at Arsenal, look at Chelsea. Look your trophy cabinet. Your trophy cabinet is international trophies. You are carrying local trophies, say you're the champion. Anyway, the issue about it is that Pep is trying to control the narrative. He knows that look at PSG. If you check out France, only Marseille has won a European trophy. And that is what Marseille is using against the whole of all the other teams in France. They are using it against PSG. Especially that is why PSG is bitter that they have not won the Champions League. So local champion, local trophy, they help anybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bash.
And I was going to say, so again, it's your target. It depends on what your target is. I mean, they didn't spend £1 billion so that they can win the Premier League. People were already winning the Premier League before Pep Guardiola came. Mancini won Premier League, he was sacked.
Yeah.
Pellegrini won Premier League, he was sacked. People have been winning Premier. It's not Premier League that they don't want old gifts; they want new one. Let's take the next story.
And Mikel Arteta has labelled Arsenal's North London derby against Tottenham on Thursday as the defining moment for their season as they chase a return to the Champions League.
Okay, now this is a North London derby everybody is looking forward to because it's a decider for who's going to make it into the Champions League next season for the between Tottenham and Arsenal. So I mean it's a tight one because I mean Arsenal is 4 points ahead of Tottenham, but we know that any match between these two, the rivalry is so strong even among the fans. I mean the beef is too much among each of them.
Mind the gap.
And then mind the gap. Yeah. So it's always very, very tough when both sides play against each other. But I mean Arsenal has the edge. They have more to lose because I mean they have more to lose, but a draw will be able to see them through. But We'll see how it goes. It's really, really a tough one.
Yeah, it's not just it's bragging rights, it's everything. Tottenham seem to have the more experienced coach, seem to have the better striker and some of the better players. I mean, you can't put Harry Kane and Son. If Arsenal had those, they'll not be talking
Yeah.
top four at this point in time. But Arsenal have been the team in form. Even yesterday, that they almost dropped the ball, they were still the team in form. And they do know, however, that if they lose this one, they'll still be ahead of Tottenham.
Tottenham.
But you don't want it to be too tight.
Yeah.
You want to give yourself wiggle room. So go out against Tottenham on Thursday and try to get all points. All right. Let's take one more call.
Okay, let's do it. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, what's your name and your location?
Greg, I'm calling from Ojo.
All right, Greg, go ahead.
Yes, for Pep Guardiola is a local champion, and that's why he's contented winning just the Premiership. But for club, me I see that man as somebody who is more committed when it comes to Champions League than even the Premier League. We know there's more money. I think there's more money in the Premiership. I'm not very sure. I think there's more money in Premiership, and maybe that's why Guardiola wants to die there. But if you ask me, club is a better coach. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's look at some of the messages on WhatsApp. Chimalbi sends this one. He says Manchester United team needs total overhauling because even though the employer Microsoft, they won't still excel with this average team they are parading weekend out. My Arsenal will finish in the top 3. That is our aim. Okay, he goes on. He says, I don't know why Pep Guardiola is talking about pedigree at the moment. For me, I totally disagree with him because it is better to have a pedigree in the Champions League than to have a local pedigree in the EPL. That is a word of consolation from Pep, Jerry. All right, Emeka sends this one in.
Manchester United actually started the game slowly, but then got worse as the game progressed. I've been trying to brighten up the mood of my Man United fans all weekend, but nothing. Love the wordplay, man. Even Ten Hag right now must be thinking, which kind of one chance I don't intercept?
Exactly.
United should just do a change of name to Banter FC.
And Olumide from my papa says, it's more difficult to win the EPL than the UCL, so Guardiola has the right to brag.
And we have a letter to Peppo from Josh.
No,
who is blaming
that was a
things
personal letter.
outside of the physical. Just saying, dear Peppo, after listening to your intro for Freshly Pressed, I waited with keen interest to hear your intro for Tega, but within that few seconds, my internet misbehaved and I missed it. So don't be juju be that.
Well.
And for your question, the other voice is Dr. Rose.
Yes. And we're squeezing just one more. This one is from Tosan. Tosan sends in a message. Hold on 1 second.
Yes. They don't want us to read this message, but
Okay.
read it, we shall.
Yes. It says that I'm sad my Real Madrid couldn't win yesterday's derby. Jurgen Klopp should win. Why is he complaining about the style of play by Conte and Tottenham? So everybody should come out and play your style so you can banter them with goals. Well, I'm so happy about what's going on with Chelsea. Arsenal is now just 1 point behind them. For the caller who said Arsene Wenger didn't win Champions League, but the main reason Man City hired Pep was for the Champions League, and that's all. They have won the Premier League, so what they really need is a European title. Tosan sent in that.
All right. And that's it.
Oh, and that's it on the show. Locker room. Oh my goodness, how time flies. Thank you very much,
You
Dr.
should give me more
Rose.
time. Just give me.
No.
I'm not finished.
Denied.
I'm not finished making my case.
The stamp has come in.
Thank you,
denied.
Dr. Rose. Thank you, Tega. The show continues till 10. At 9 o'clock this morning, we'll bring you Lagos Talks. Shokbe and Victor Pepple right here. Good morning.
Thank you.
So bye-bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I didn't even look at it.